Jaga here, hanging out with the one and only cheese mozzarella, the most expensive cheddar cheese. Lebohang Mukwena. Football Fridays, cheesy. You know what it is. We break down the trending stories. We spoke last week about captaincy in at Pirates, but this time, cheesy. Manje ukhulume ngama-goal scorer. The things that are gonna entertain us. I need the top goal scorer, the league winner. Where you think Chiefs will finish? Because abantu are confused here. I'm hearing they must at least be top 8. Some are saying top 4. Some are saying at least a trophy. Some are saying no, another trophy. So angazi, what you think? We're gonna predict the games coming up this weekend. Saleng expected to make his debut for Orbit. Indwana yakho Cheezy, you know, long-awaited return to football. Hey, I think a lot of people are gonna be feeling some type of way. Mudau at Sundowns, Cheezy.
Yo.
Galani Clorcop. Ascale Cheezy's season's predictions. We ask it, Cheezy, we always ask them, you know, they must hit the like button. They must subscribe, Cheezy. Machele while.
Do the right thing, Buffett, man. You know, we are happy, guys. We are floating on 60,000. Now the target is 100,000, guys. And guys, you stand a chance of winning 50,000 rands from Soccerbeat, Buffett. So when I just follow the steps out here, subscribe, press a little button. The rest will be history, my guy.
After Football Fridays, Cheesy, it's a weekend, and it's Fridays. Yeah, it's the weekend, Cheesy.
Oh, yeah.
It's 5-2 weekend, basically, Friday.
5-2, yeah.
It's for us. Especially on my predictions, Cheesy. Top goal scorer, Bonabani this season. Also double net.
Hey, that's a difficult one because the previous top goal scorers are no longer featured as much, you know. I'm seeing a Grobler, you know, that's really gonna hit the mark at his age. I think he's gonna be amongst the top goal scorers. Not sure if he'll win it, but I was looking at the same player that won it last season, Ribeiro, if he's staying at Sundowns, you know. But for now, Otiam, I don't think I've got a name to give you because I'm gonna mafusha angabona umuntu ongathi ukukora.
Jeez. Okay. League winner Cheesy. Ubona bani ngoba hayi iPhakania lenze something lana. Alisabisa manje iPhakania with all those signings. But the Sundowns is Sundowns.
I mean the challenge Pirates will have before I tell you who will win the league. I think the challenge Pirates will have is the introduction of the new players as well, trying to adjust, and the coach as well. That plays a bit of a part. You know, you want something that has been moving. So I'd say Sundowns. I think they've already sent out a strong message with that 4-0 result in the cup game they played. So I'll say Sundowns will still win it, you know, but I'll still see Pirates taking that second spot. Hopefully this season around, they can push them until maybe the last game of the season. That would be very interesting.
Never ever have I heard it. Maybe they can push them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're giving Sundowns. Chiefs. Bazophela kuphi Cheesy. My expectations are wild out there, Cheese. I've never seen a more divided fan base than the current one, the Kaizer Chiefs.
Look, the team has been struggling. We all know Mfetch, you know, and it's one of those loved teams in the country with a huge fan base. Samakosi, you know, I get it all over Nami when we're around, you know, and doing activations and other things. Hey, Cheesy manje Chiefs ubona kanjani? Look, for me, the best position Chiefs can get to this season, I think they can push for a top 4. You know, I'm saying this because Coach Nabi has already had enough time to settle down at the club. He's been given the resources, you know, and yes, he did not start off well with this preseason, but I'm sure the coach is confident as well. But I'm also confident that Chiefs will probably make the top 8 this season. Winning a cup, well, that's something to discuss because, I mean, yeah, banging a window, and then we had to share the cake, and, you know, father and son share the cake.
Cheese, bazodlala njani this weekend? Badlala neStellenbosch iKaizer Chiefs. Anginika ama-predictions iphela njani?
Look, Steelers are already on the front foot. They've already have a game in hand. I think that will work to their advantage coming to the league match. So I'll give this one to Steelers, a 2-1. A 2-1 to Steelers.
Orlando Pirates Kukune Saras.
I'm going to give it to Amapagania. Amapagania, it's going to be a tough one. I think Skukune also comes from a win as well. High on confidence. But I think with Pirates trying to prove a point and trying to build a strong team, I think Pirates will take this one 2-0.
2-0. Sundowns Cheaper United.
Hayi mfethu abafana beClub World Cup mfethu bangakrwenya i-4 ngibona i-4 Sundowns.
Thank you, Cheesy. That's the weekend for you, brought to you by Cheesy, of course. Cheesy's predictions. I hope he helps you decide, uphole kahle, being confident about your team and where they're going to finish. Or are you surprised? Do you disagree? Hit the comments. Let us know in the comments. Saleng yabuya Cheesy. Intwana yako. Um,
Yeah.
Back at Orbit, where it really sort of started for him, uh, how do you feel? Mascale lapho Cheesy. How do you feel?
Look, Mjara, for me as a brother, as a friend, as a former footballer, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him that he'll get the opportunity to do what he loves best. That's playing football. And what I loved about his statement was that he's happy that he's gone back home. It's a team that really groomed him, as a youngster. He left. He's gained a lot of experience from Orlando Pirates. And I was at the launch of the league, and one thing that came out from the coach was that no pressure on him, on Saleng, but they're happy to have the boy back because he's going to share the experience with some of the youngsters that he left when he moved to Orlando Pirates. So I'm happy for him, man. I just hope that he can enjoy his game, without any pressure, because he's a talented player and a good player. And I wish him nothing of the best, man. I think as a country or as football fans, we'll be just happy to see him back on the field of play and to show us what he did at Orlando Pirates, and maybe this time around help Orbit keep their status in the league.
They're up against Amazulu Cheesy. Will you be following? Badlala ngo-3. Ipagania ngiyazi ubukela ipagania. Lidlala half
Ah,
5.
yeah.
Uzoba Cheesy. Are you going to be able to watch?
Of course,
Orbit is
I want
playing
I want to watch
Amazulu.
it. I think I am gonna make time and watch that match because I just want to look at Saleng and look at how Orbit is prepared for this upcoming season. Look at the players that they have. So yeah, it's just gonna be a test field and just see what happens and how he fits in and what role the coach is gonna give him. Is he gonna be playing left wing, right wing? Is he gonna be playing as a striker? So I'm interested in seeing which role Salem will be playing in the Orbit team, and how they're going to be prepared for the rest of the season. So, but when it comes to the results, I think I'll give it to Coach Arthur on this one. Facing newbies is never easy, but he's got a solid, and he's got youngsters as well. So I think it's going to be a pound for pound match. At the press conference, both coaches say they know each other. They've worked with each other. They've been to the coaching classes together. So the philosophies might be the same. So, but I'll give it to Coach Arthur based on the experience and the time he has had at Amazon. I'll give it to them 2-1.
Wait for this one, guys. You want to hear Cheese's untold story coming up right at the end of this show? I've got a big surprise. I think just thinking about it, I'm starting to lose focus and my trail of thought. Cheesy, Muta, stick around for that untold story by Cheese. Muta's situation, Cheesy, before we get to that untold story. Muta, why Kaban and the Sundowns daughter? I'm not sure if it's the coach. I'm not sure if it's the management, but his situation is not together.
Ah, look, man, it's a sad one, man. Look, I mean, we're talking about a Bafana International, somebody who's worked his way up, all these seasons, from I knew him from the days of Black Leopards, and I think what's really affecting him right now at the club is probably that he's probably had a lot of offers. That I'm 100% sure, and maybe the club was a little bit reluctant in releasing him, and that causes frustration for a player, man, that wants to make a move abroad. He's already played a lot of international football. So I'm sure when he looks at his level, he's more of, look, I've almost won everything in South Africa, so why not get a better or a bigger challenge for himself? And age is no longer on his side, he's growing. So maybe also to make some money for the days when he decides to hang up his boots, So maybe that could be the situation as well, and Sunderland's a big squad, and they can't keep every player happy. That's always the case when you have a big squad, So it will be a big loss if Sundowns do lose him. I've heard rumors that Chiefs might be the people that might grab him, but I'm sure he will get a club if ever Sundowns decides to release him, But I'm not happy with what's happening because I just feel he's a very key figure in that Sundowns team, and he has done a lot for the club. And sometimes these clubs don't appreciate the things the players do, and sacrifices that they give to the club. and you find that you are put onto the sidelines. You're no longer playing now. You are put out to the media that you this bad boy that doesn't want to train, doesn't want to do that, whereas they know the real issue. But yeah, soccer beat lovers and Absa Football Friday fans, just be in the loop, guys. Something is gonna happen, something is gonna come out of it. So yeah, we'll keep you updated on that, but would be a sad loss for Sundowns if Mudau has to leave.
Cheese, you're in a safe space when we're with me, Cheese. You know that. You sound like you have a story. You have a story. You have a relationship with this kind of story. Something that's happened to you. Where you feel like you deserve a certain type of money, and you're not getting that type of money, and then you are misrepresented, as you say.
Yeah.
The After Football Friday people are here. Safe space. We don't charge. Cheesy. You know this. It's me, Nchaka. Go ahead, Cheese.
Bekumtshaka uyarola. Mtshayisi is rolling a red carpet. A red carpet.
Kuruma, Cheesy, feel free. Share a story. I mean,
No, man.
do you
Like,
relate to
like,
something like
like,
this?
yeah, man. I think it's a situation that with former players, that I've played with as well. I've been in this similar situation where the club really denies you that opportunity to go overseas. I think I was one. I told a story, on Soccerbeat about my move to Benfica, my move to Al Ahly, how everything was halted. My trip to the US after beating Mexico, and getting that great offer to actually be part of a big institution in Europe and also grow my career. So these things do happen. But the sad part is that the fans don't really have the insight of everything. What happens when we are at training, when we get into that boardroom and have a discussion with the coaches and the management. I've had one at Sundowns before I left, and I think I might have spoke about the story, but I was supposed to be registered for the CAF Champions League, and it was a promise made by the coach then at that time that look, no, you don't have to leave the club. We're doing well in the league. We need your experience in the Champions League. We are gonna sign. Register you when the registration opens for the knockout phase, when the group stages, when we get former players we need to put in. And I was the player. Katlego Mashego was also one of the players. And eventually it got to a point where we had a disagreement in the boardroom after everything was finalized that you guys made a promise and you never fulfilled your promise. And team had an option on me and suggested that it's better I not take the option. And that's when I made my move to to Cape Town. And the team went on after a month or so to win on the Champions League. And it was a bitter pillow to swallow. But even today, I still put that star on my heart because I also feel like I've contributed a lot to the club with Katlego Mashego. I can mention a lot of players that were there at that time, that really never got the chance because sometimes it's in the coach's hand, it's in the management's hands. So these things do happen, guys. So yeah, all we need to do is we just need to support our players and give them the confidence that what maybe it's not the time, and just hope that God reveals something else for you because sometimes when one door closes the other one opens. Let me tell you, Mjaga, let's tell our Football Fridays lovers on the apps show, guys, um this I think this has never happened. Maybe it was live TV, but I haven't seen this in the past. I don't know how many years, more than maybe a decade or so, because back in the day at Orlando Pirates, under the leadership of now DDC coach Joseph Makhanya. Hey Joey, don't kill me for this story, my guy, but I'm just sharing. So we get to Ellis Park, the slaughterhouse. The Tsunami boys are there. We had just had our pre-match meal from the Protea Wanderers Hotel. Joseph Makhanya is the captain of the team. We got onto the field. We're playing Black Leopards. Very tough game. Score still 0-0. 30 minutes into the match. How? Now, Umuntu, imagine a player leaving the field while the game is on without even indicating to the referee or the players. This guy starts running out because you're playing on the right. So he's on the far side. The tunnel is on the other side. He starts running across. The game is on. So now everybody starts looking at him while we're playing. What's happening? He goes straight into the bathroom. Yo, it took Joey about 10 minutes. It was almost like 2 minutes to halftime when he came back. So literally we were playing with 10 men. and we're trying to find out from the bench what's happening. What's happening? This guy had a running stomach in the middle of a match. What would you do if you had a running stomach and you are playing one of the biggest games of your life? Tell us in the comment section. Would you stay or would you run out?
It sounds some food for Fridays. Siyabonga Cheezy. Your story matters. It's the untold story. Cheezy, stick around. Cheezy will be dropping more stories like these. Siyabonga Cheezy. I always look forward to our session.
Taco.
Let's leave the viewers out there. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button. Cheez, so Mashaya next time you freestyle. But Ogo manje.
Yeah.
Let the beat do the talking. Soccerbeat,